So yeah, I was kind of reading my head. I'm like, how am I gonna relate this in a way that perhaps can help me understand it from a more personal level? So I thought, let's just really personalize this. What if we had a thought experiment where the publisher has a whole bunch of people that they have out for rent on the street corner with sandwich boards, and the advertiser says, okay, great, you've got 100 people with sandwich boards. I'd love to get all 100 of them, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have 1,000 people walking by, and they're all going to look at these sandwich boards. And then, you end up hiring somebody to watch this whole process occur. You end up haggling with that publisher to say, I'm not so sure that everybody was actually looking at those people with the sandwich boards, and I'm not so sure that even those people that were walking by were human beings. In fact, I think that one had a little bit of like a robot walk happening, and that's kind of not cool. So the big question, I think, is to try to, at least for me, is to understand when I came into this project and why I came into this project, why we need to ensure that that operation is one that has validity, that is verifiable, and it's a hard problem. This advertising problem, it's an important problem. I think that we need to solve. Advertising is the fuel, in my view, of the internet. It's helped us to create a lot of really cool products that we love and use. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to help it get better. So how do I work this, actually? Thank you. So yeah, we say Adex, an ad network for a cleaner web. Well, what does that mean? Does it mean that we're trying to scrub it with Lysol? We mean that it's wasteful at this point. And I think everybody can agree that there's a ton of waste. But that's not always necessarily a bad thing. Waste in one way or another has kind of always been a part of advertising. But the promise, and I'll hearken over to, I don't know who it was that talked about, the promise of programmatic was that it was going to be more targeted. It was gonna help us out. But we've seen that human beings are super creative, and we found all sorts of creative ways around that to make profit for other people that are not serving our needs. Oh, okay. Supposed to have the other demo. Maybe we'll just, yeah, we can just switch to this, sorry. Yeah, thanks. So actually, yeah, my apologies. I actually was hoping to grab this. Yeah, if that's okay. Okay, cool. I'll just stand here and go down here. Sorry, guys. Because we're gonna do a live demo hopefully in a minute, and I'll try to wrap this up because I know we have a lot to get through. So how do we not lose billions of dollars to ad fraud, non-transparent reporting, and middle person fees? Well, the answer isn't complicated, says Cory Doctorow, but it is very hard. It's so hard that we spent the last 2 years since our very successful ICO in 2017 developing a way to do that. And Adex is the way that we're doing it. So the Adex core team, I'll just go through really quickly. We're quickly becoming a decentralized team. We were sort of centralized in Sofia, Bulgaria for a time. That's where Ivo, our mad genius, is from, and Dimo, and Vanina, and some of the developers. We have since hired a developer in Berlin and Africa, actually. You'd be surprised, there's a lot of awesome Nigerian developers out there. And then the bottom half, we have some of our more recent non-tech hires, including myself. And as far as my origin story, I'm originally from Iowa and then moved to Canada. And I was originally an academic focusing on transgressive social movements. and a little bit of a communist, and now I'm sort of like a hyper blockchain capitalist. So go figure. As far as Adex origin story, so Adex is actually born out of a lot of fed upness with being an advertiser. So Adex was conceived in early 2016. They were working on a different project called Streamio, which is a video streaming site that has about 7 million active users. And they had a lot of issues that we're all talking about today in terms of verification between their ad networks and their publishers. One even geo-fenced Bulgaria, so they couldn't see the reports, believe it or not. And then many years prior, however, founder CEO Evo was bitten by a spider from the blockchain that we'll call the Bitcoin white paper. And he got the bug, and we realized that there's a real marriage between the interests of blockchain and the things it could solve and what's going on in online advertising. So this, by the way, is our mascot, Eddie the Moonicorn. And it's no mistake that we want to make advertising great again. We didn't distribute red hats today, though, because it's just a little bit too turmoil of a political climate here in the States. Anyway, so in a very simple way, how does the network work? Well, basically, and thank you, by the way, to Richard for ducking out of the more technical aspects of his stuff, because I'm going to duck out of it too. However, I do have some appreciation for it. But essentially, every time you open a campaign, it acts as basically a state channel. And this state channel is also, each event is a micropayment. So each impression ends up being a micropayment. So the impressions are themselves micropayments, which kind of kills two birds with one stone. So Adex became way much more than just a smart contract that tried to sort of be evocative of an ad exchange. It became a full-blown protocol. We're token agnostic. We're blockchain agnostic, meaning we can run, on any blockchain per se. Not any, but we're open to it. We're completely open source. We've created some pretty cool technical achievements, including Ocean and Outpace. Ocean stands for Off-Chain Event Aggregation, and that's actually a primitive on layer 2, as well as Outpace, which is kind of an acronym for Off-Chain Unidirectional Trustless Payment Channels. Say that 5 times fast. And basically what that is, these are one-to-many payment channels, which is a much better and sophisticated way of handling payment. Off-chain at least. Our targeting is contextual to start. We do local storage. We're working on local storage data targeting in the future. So all privacy is ensured. Information, stays in the browser. I want to make that really clear. So users' information, consumers' information is never given out. All targeting happens within their own browser, which is really cool. Adex identity is also getting built right now. No ETH needed per se. You can use, we have approved token, DAI, or ETH right now, or Adex. But you're welcome to submit a pull request to our GitHub and suggest another token. And let's jump in just really quickly to, oops. You never want like dead air. I'm glad this isn't a radio show. Okay, so here we go. So this is, I really kind of shame on IAB because you guys should have had this event a few weeks ago, or a few weeks forward, because we're still sort of in testnet with this. But this is our basically functional finalized platform. but we're going to release it in another 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, we basically can create a new ad unit, a new campaign, all the things that you would expect. This is pretty seamless. I echo again, Richard, we need to make this really easy for people. Otherwise, they're just not going to use it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And we'll go back. Adex adoption. So we will be integrating with Streamio very shortly. That integration is happening. We've got 7 million plus users with it. We have 10 advertisers that have been approved with $2,000 worth of DAI each to start using the system. And yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. And as far as our roadmap is there, we've got the crowd sale that happened in 2017. Bringing us up to Ocean and Outpace development, to the Adex marketplace, which just got created. And a lot of this stuff you can, if you want to really dig in, you can definitely check out our GitHub. The platform update, you see it says April. We're just a teensy bit behind schedule on that, but gonna happen soon. Adoption and biz dev is happening, so we're talking to potential clients, onboarding. Early adopters. Adex registry is coming, the token upgrade, and all the way to September. So yeah, that's pretty much it.